Hey guys, this is Pedro back with another interview, this time covering VCT EMEA Stage 1 for playoffs. My guest at this time is Angel of NAVI, coming off of their match against Team Liquid, in which they came out on the losing end, thus seeing their run come to an end at this point of the season. And so, Angel, thank you so much. I really do appreciate the time, and obviously it would have been better for you guys to come out of this with a victory. Fortunately, it's a loss. I want to ask you first and foremost, what's going through your mind? How are you processing this result?
Um, it's hard to process, because I'm very in the game during the process, yeah, and I can analyze it properly only after watching VOD. But for now, on emotions, obviously very pity game. It felt like we was unlucky sometimes. Sometimes they outplayed us, but it was a close, very interesting game to play, at least on a first and third map. And we have a lot to learn. It's I still think we doing a progress compared to kickoff. We'll figure out what is missing and fix it for next tournament.
As you kind of said, it was the kind of match in which, it went all three maps and you guys had some high points and obviously there's been some low points as well. Talking about how the match ended and, just sort of like starting off onto how this match began, on Icebox with your victory on 13-11. There is obviously a little bit of hope for you guys to continue this momentum and close this out with a victory in your favor. Still, walk me through how you guys started off Icebox with Authority. You guys had like a little bit of a scare from Team Liquid in the second half. You guys were able to come out on top on that first map.
Yeah, I think first side was very good for us. We did what we planned. Everything worked after planned and stuff. But on defense, we felt like a game was already half won, and we allowed ourselves too much mistakes. Sometimes a bit over aggress, sometimes just sloppy mistake. Sometimes we didn't play together. So yeah, so it was that close. That's why it was that close, I think.
And then what do you think changed within the team, from you going to split and ascent? I mean, sure, split. I mean, the Team Liquid is normally strong in that map, so maybe a lot of people expected for them to come back on that. But still, just sort of like playing in split, facing the difficulty of Team Liquid as the momentum shifted over to the other team's favor, then playing in ascent. What do you think affected you guys most from your point of view?
Again, last part. What do you think? What?
What do you think affected the team the most in the later stages of that series that led to the result?
It's very hard to say, but we did a lot of individual mistakes. That I can tell for sure. Like this was the main reason, at least from my point of view right now. Obviously, as I told you, without rewatching the VOD, I can't tell you exact reasons. But from my emotional side, it was a lot of individual mistakes. They played better in this part of the game.
And obviously, like this match concludes Navi's run in the playoff stage, and obviously, like arguably, this is kind of like a much better showing from you guys compared to how it was back in kickoff. And obviously, you're going to take a look at this and improve for stage two. What I want to ask you now is your quick reflection as to the season that was and the progression of this team from kickoff onwards. How do you look back on how your team performed, and what do you think has been the biggest strengths and weaknesses that you've seen out of this Navi team so far?
Mhm. The biggest strength is we signed 3 young players who have insane potential. They have very good aim, very good mechanical skills, but at the same time, it becomes sometimes weakness when their lack of sometimes confidence, sometimes just knowledge, yeah, or just a basic understanding of when to play forward, when to go back, and this is what we're working on a lot before kickoff and split one, and I feel like it's slowly going up. Hopefully, yes, we played better from my point of view this time, but it's clearly not enough yet. So we're gonna work more and try to widen their how to say it, skills, add more skills to their place. Yeah.
feel like as the pressure grew on the team and having to go down to the lower bracket, did you feel like that kind of pressures affected like the young guys, or do you feel like it was something else besides that?
No, I felt like pressure was there maybe for the first match, but for second match and now it was fine. At least like not that drastically, yeah, maybe like 10-20%, but it's normal. Like everyone is a bit nervous, a bit pressured when elimination is online, right? So yeah, I don't think it was the main reason, but yeah, it's a very, very, very good experience. I'm sure going forward, the guys are gonna play more confident. They will know what to expect and how to react on different things.
I mean, each player goes about their business differently in a sense that like how they are accommodating to playing in tier one after like playing a long time like in tier two or maybe in a different international league. What I'm trying to get at though is like this team is kind of like similar in the sense that it is a mixture of like veteran leadership like such as yourself and your teammate Shao, and also young players like Koala Noob and Hero and Rooksik, and they also Koala Noob like spent a good amount of time playing in tier two, and this is his first experience playing in tier one, and even in a different region altogether. So just plays into the difficulty of it all. What I'm trying to get at though is focusing on the young guys as what you've been kind of talking about. How have you viewed their maturity and just their familiarity with how you do things as the IGO, how you do things in managing a team, and how they're buying into your system?
Um, it's pretty hard. Because the idea which I would like to have in a team is like slow methodical gameplay with a mixture of fast and unexpected plays, right? To break the dynamic. And we're having a bit of troubles in the part when it comes to a slow methodical like approach, especially in advantage situations, because youngsters, they want to fight, they want to go, they want to like always be in some kind of action, right? And this where one of the things we're working on is like being able to comfortably slow it down the pace mid round and play it out, especially in advantage. This part is like still in the progress. I don't think we accomplished like 100% of this, but we're definitely working on this.
Scale of 1 to 10, 1 being like the worst, 10 to being like the absolute best. Where do you think the team is at right now from your point of view?
Strong 5.
Strong 5.
Literally strong 5. In the middle of the way, maybe even strong 6, because like those elimination matches made us learn a lot, especially young players. Like when you're playing under this pressure, you clearly see what is your ground level, because under high pressure you play on your lowest like practice level, how you play in practice, but basically we see the real level of the players under this kind of pressure, and it's very good experience and very good information for me, for the happy coach, yeah, and for the players themselves.
And with that said, obviously, I want to ask you also just sort of like your opinion as to like where this team is currently at compared to like the previous version of this Navi squad. The lights turned off right there. I don't know why. Maybe there's a ghost right there. But besides that, how although I do understand in the sense that like we're still fresh into the season and we haven't really played a lot of matches so far in this Navi core, but where do you kind of view the difference between this current squad and the previous one, given that on that previous squad you've been playing with the same guys for like many years at that point?
Understanding of like being like you're not gonna say understanding, being on the same page, let's say it like this. This is where we a bit struggle. It's like previous roster, despite us having a lot of like troubles last years, knew when you need to slow it down. They knew when they need to clutch it out. They knew when we need to speed up. Yeah, this kind of stuff we're still working on, because like different players can have different reactions, and probably this is the main difference between those rosters. But potential of this roster is higher on the long run, definitely. Like mechanically wise, like we have insane players currently.
No, for sure, and hopefully, as you've been saying, you guys can take this and use it forward into the future in the stage two. I have a feeling I'm getting those pinks to wrap up, so I'm gonna have to do exactly that. Angel, it was a pleasure to talk to you. I really appreciate you giving me the opportunity to do this quick interview, providing all the insight as to what's going on within the Navi team and what to expect for the future. So that said, thank you so much,
Thank you.
and best of luck goes to you in the future.
Best of luck to you also. Bye bye.